Well, we are bridging the space or the span between the new moon solar eclipse that we just had on August 12th and the full moon lunar eclipse that we will have on the 27th or 28th of August, depending on where you're at in the world. So welcome or welcome back, everyone. My name is Debbie. This is the Mind, Body, Soul Evolution, and for our air signs. So Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, this is your reading for the week of August 16th. And I did a pre-shuffle, and I'll get to that in a second. So this bridging phase is a time of reflection between the new moon solar eclipse and the full moon lunar eclipse. How these eclipses are affecting you, if they are at all. And what are you trying to balance out in life, and what limitations are you coming across, if any? So we're going to get to these first three cards that I pulled. I did a little pre-shuffle. King of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands. So reflecting, again, this is for all of our air signs, on how much you've learned, how much you've accomplished, right? And the wisdom you have gained along the way. And here's the thing, once we gain wisdom, we've been through a certain path, right? Now it's time to teach, or pay it forward to teach what we have learned. How did you accomplish what you've accomplished? And how did you overcome obstacles? And what things, reflecting on like, how could you have done anything any easier? So this is now you're paying everything forward to our air signs. So let's see how this is going to play out for everyone. And we will start off, I'll put these back in the deck, and we will start off with our Gemini friends. Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of August 16th. And again, this is a reflection reading. So what is Gemini reflecting on in this week? In this phase, right? This bridging phase, as we bridge the eclipses. You have Ace of Swords, the Star. That is Aquarius. So Aquarius, if you are watching, the Star has come out under Gemini. You are both air signs. So, and Ace of Swords, right? That's their air element. So we will pull 7 cards unless more want to come out. And then the 8th card will be the card on the root of the deck, or the final card will be the card on the root of the deck. So Gemini, Earth, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is for you. I was going to say Earth, Wind, and Fire. For some reason, that band, if you know who that band is, they just came to mind. But no, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Here we go. And I am in my brace, if you did not know. I was in an accident, a motor vehicle accident. So I'm in the brace for a while. Okay, Gemini, the root of the deck for you. 10 of Swords, right? Letting go. Releasing those thoughts. Giving yourself, freeing your mind, right? So let's see, to make room for new. Ace of Swords, the Star. 8 of Pentacles. This has come out several times today, or during these readings. King of Wands, Justice. Libra energy. The Lovers, you have your own card. This does not happen too often with me when I'm pulling cards for folks. So this is your own card. So you have Gemini. You have all 3 air signs represented in your reading. Yourself, Libra, and Aquarius. All 3 air signs are represented in your reading. So this is pretty powerful stuff. And you have a very powerful energy. Now, personally, I do not manifest and I do not set intentions during eclipses. If you choose to, that's personal choice. I would say the only caveat is if you were born during an eclipse, maybe it's a good time for you to set intentions and to manifest. Personally, I do not. But after the eclipses, things are going to move very quickly for you. So, 10 of Swords, right? Kind of clearing the decks. getting rid of all the thoughts that have been intrusive, that have gotten in the way of you finding faith and hope. Now, the Star card comes after the Tower and the major arcana in the line. The Tower is not here, but just because a card isn't here does not mean it's not represented. That does not mean it's not represented. So you have some rebuilding to do, and if that makes sense, right? Because you're clearing out maybe old beliefs, the way you used to do things, and you're learning new things about yourself and the world around you. And in doing so, you're rebuilding something new for yourself. The Star, the card of hope, faith, and renewal. So what are you building, Gemini? I think this is more of an internal. You have Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles in the traditional Rider-Waite means like keep going, right? Like keep going. You can't quite see the fruit of your labor, but it is coming to the surface. And in this, she's just using the magic within. She's using candles and crystals and plants. And the whole lunar cycle is above her head. So what resources do you have, or what resources are calling inside of you, Gemini, to listen into that inner calling? What have you been curious about learning? And that's where you're headed. And in doing so, like, it takes a lot of strength to look to see where Leo was at in your chart as well. So look to see, obviously, where Aquarius, Libra, and Leo are at in your chart. These are the big influences over you right now. And you do have three major arcana, so three areas of life, or all in the same area, quantum shifts and changes. So as you start to move towards the things that you're curious about, like, oh, I've always wanted to learn about this. Okay, I've always wondered about that. That's where your focus is going. And you'll find out that, wait a minute, you might become a master at something completely new that was outside of your realm, outside of your scope of thought. It could be something, for not all of us, of our Gemini friends, but it could be about law and order, or fair, or what fairness means to you, or what balance and harmony means to you. Because you have the Justice, which is about fairness. This could represent legal matters, but this is about fairness and balance, restoring harmony. And you also have the Lovers, which is Gemini and Sagittarius. So I maybe look to see where Sagittarius is at in your chart, and I say Sagittarius because she has the archer bow and arrow on her shoulder. So what is fairness and balance and harmony? Like in both of these cards, right? Eyes are closed, eyes are opened. You know, the lighter and the darker, the feminine and the masculine, although Sagittarius in and of itself is a masculine energy, right? But opposing energies, like opposites, and they say opposites attract. Opposites on the zodiacal wheel is your balancing energy. So look to your Sagittarius friends and see what they're doing. Or maybe even watch the Sagittarius reading, because this is about restoring harmony and balance into your life after a phase where maybe there wasn't a whole lot of harmony. Maybe there was not a whole lot of balance. Though, Gemini, no surprise. After the full moon lunar eclipse, I expect things will probably go very quickly for you. It might feel like a whirlwind. Like you can almost see and feel the wind around these two, right? As they're really embraced in a moment of passion. So what is the passion? What are you passionate about? What is this new thing stirring within you from your intuitive space? Once you dive in, Gemini, things will go very quickly, leading you to a whole new destination where you realize, and this has been the theme for almost all of the signs for this week during this bridge phase, or this resting phase, right? Contemplative phase. You've had the power and the strength and the ability within you the whole time to create what it is you want. You've had the strength to live the life that you want, to be harmonious, to be in balance with the world around you. But just as importantly, if not more, balance with your own self. Balancing your mind and balancing your heart. Balancing what you thought you believed in your mindset and what you know to be true in your heart center. This is big, Gemini, because you can't, this is a time where you cannot think your way in and out of something. Like, this is all about feeling and knowing. So seeing both sides, weighing both sides, or arguing both sides like an attorney, right? I said something about the justice or the legal system. Attorneys can argue both sides of any case, of any situation. You're not going to be able to do that here, because it's just going to come out, exactly even on both sides. You have to learn to lean in and to actually feel, to close your eyes, to trust the wisdom that's coming in through your intuition, and to go with your passions and not overthink it. Be a little more free-spirited. Sagittarians are very free-spirited. We tend to kind of act before we think. Not always the best course, but Geminis can overthink and not act. So you're coming out of that cycle, Gemini. And this looks very promising. So let us know how that works for you this week. If anything is coming up, feel free to put it in the comments. And of course, if you have any questions, or if you want to schedule a personal reading for your situation, always feel free to reach out. We will put the cards back in the deck, and we will move on to Libra. Libra, how are you? Welcome to your reading for the week of August 16th. It is the middle of August. In the U.S., it's almost Labor Day, the unofficial end of summer, because then school starts, at least in my state, school starts in September after Labor Day. It's crazy. So, Libra, what is your reflection? What are you reflecting on this week as we kind of sit in the valley, right, between the eclipses? What is Libra reflecting on this week? Let's see, shall we? So again, we're pulling 7 cards, and then the 8th card will be the card on the root of the deck. But there's a couple signs that had more cards pop out, that we always kind of weigh that out and see. So Libra, what are you reflecting on this week? The root of the deck, the Chariot, Cancerian energy. So you're ready. You're ready for change. You're ready to, again, another card of intuition, right? There are no reins on these horses. The charioteer is not even in his seat. He's just trusting the direction life is guiding him into. Underneath of that is the Fool. New beginnings. New opportunities. Let's see, though. 10 of Cups. 2 of Pentacles. Ace of Wands. I just said moving forward, trusting intuition, and Ace of Wands is all about lighting up your intuitive center. Although Wands is associated with fire, so it's that creativity, but the third eye is highlighted in that card. 8 of Wands, the Star, we just had that, right, for Gemini. Knight of Swords, Knight of Cups. You have 2 knights. So whenever we have like 2 of the same element, 2 of the same number, 2 of the same element, like that's always a really good sign for me. Only 2 major arcanas here, so the Star card, right, in the tarot comes directly after the Tower card. And you did not necessarily, Tower card did not come out for you. You know, on the root of the deck is the Chariot, which means you're ready. The Fool underneath of that is you're ready for new beginnings. Underneath of that, though, is the Tower. So a little shakeup. I don't think this is a big shakeup, Libra. I don't feel that at all. But this is more about what are you rebuilding for yourself, or what are you building for yourself now that is different than what you have in place. Now, Libra, the past several readings, or at least for the past month, the weekly readings have been about changing your job or something to that effect, either going into an entrepreneurship, maybe starting a YouTube channel, or starting something new for yourself. This star, this is Aquarius. This is your light to say you are ready. You have the Ten of Cups. Things, you're leaning towards the things that fill your heart emotionally, right? You want things that fulfill you, that create a sense of harmony and balance, where you can make choices on your own without having to make choices based on what someone else expects of you. This is, okay, this is big. Choices that spark some creativity, some sense of adventure. Here's the thing though, once you start this new project, Libra, it's going to go very fast. I think that this card just came out for Gemini. It's going to go very fast. So our air signs, you're like full speed ahead, especially when you have the Knight of Swords. Once you get that clarity, once you start to build something that's for you and around your passion, your creativity, that fills your cups up, right? It moves very quickly. I mean, there's no stopping. There's no stopping you now. So whatever it is you're doing now, I would say wait till after the full moon lunar eclipse. But again, that's a personal choice. And things will move very quickly. But again, what are you building for yourself? You're going to get clear. There's not a whole lot in your way. Your intuition is guiding you very strong. And again, Libra, this is a very heart-centered move. This is something that could have even been inside of you for a while. Now just bring up, there are 3 horses in your reading, the 2 on the Chariot and the 1 for the Knight of Cups. So what is impassioning you? This is where you're going. You're following your passions, you're following your intuition, you're following what lights you up, you're following everything, like really, you know, like ride the rainbow, right? We all want to be in this picture right here, riding the wave of emotional abundance. This is where you're going. And this is a great journey for you because it's all faith-based. Faith in yourself, Libra. I'm loving this for you. If you have any questions, this is your reading for the week. If you have any questions, let us know. Put them in the comments. And again, if you want a personal reading, feel free to reach out. And this energy is magnetic, Libra. Good luck and enjoy this little momentary rest. And things will move forward for you very quickly. And we will move on. Hello, Aquarius. How is Aquarius? Let's see what your reading holds this week. Our air signs are fully ready to go. Fast, swift movement. So let me make sure I give these cards a good shuffle, which I do. And sometimes the same cards still come out. And that tends to be what happens. We'll see if they come out in your reading. Okay, Aquarius, what are you reflecting on this week as we bridge between eclipses? What are you reflecting on? Yeah. Put this over here. All right, Aquarius, let's see. Seven of Wands came face up. And she looks like she's reflecting, doesn't she? She has her hands in Namaste Mudra. She's on her cushion. She's got her eyes closed, reflecting maybe on her heart center. Okay, Six of Swords, the Chariot again. Eight of Pentacles again, right? Gemini just had that. Eight of Pentacles has been a very popular card for this week. So has the Chariot. So let's see. Page of Cups. Nine of Cups on the root of the deck. So Libra just had the Ten of Cups. You have the Nine of Cups. I mean, again, emotional fulfillment, right? Look at that. That is all joy and happiness, right? She's literally jumping out of the treasure chest. I mean, look at that. And look at the beautiful blue hair. I mean, who does not want to be this woman? Her arms are spread out. She's like saying, yes, yes, I am open to receiving. So this is for you, Aquarius, be open to receiving. Oh my gosh, the Star again. And we saw how I shuffled the cards. So, again. Okay, under the Nine of Cups is the Hanged Man, right? So you've done some soul searching here. You've done a lot of soul searching, Aquarius. And now the answers are coming to you. So during this phase, you might start to receive some answers. And this is about community work. The people that either you're working in your community or the community that you surround yourself with. And it feels like there's the people in your community are not all the same. Like they don't all think the same. They don't all have the same types of jobs. This feels like this is an array of people with really unique perspectives, very unique jobs, and people who have something different to bring to the table. And maybe that's what you're reflecting on. Like, how does this light you up? How does this fill your heart? I mean, I love it when there's people together and we're not all the same. When we all have something new to bring to the table, when we all have different opinions and views, different areas of study. So maybe this is what you're reflecting on, the community that you have for yourself. You have the Six of Swords and the Chariot. So this could very well mean that you're moving to a new community. If you're moving towards something that stimulates your mind. So maybe you're not physically moving, but you're looking for more mental stimulation, right? Because you're an air sign, so of course you need smart people around you, cultured people. So maybe you're moving towards, you could be moving towards education, although that is not, none of the cards actually say that themselves. But you could be moving towards educating yourself in new areas. Again, the community that you have around you. They have different interests. You're going to be learning new things. But I think you're ready. For some of our Aquarius friends, I feel like maybe have you been a little bored lately? Like, okay, it's the same conversations, it's the same way of doing things, and now you're getting really creative. You're going, wait, there's more than one way to do this. There's more than one way to think about what I'm doing, and there's more than one way to learn. Some people learn, my first daughter, she is an avid book learner. She can read anything and understand it. Me, that's not me. I have to learn by doing. I have to do something. If I read it, and I can read it 1,000 times until I put it into play or until I actually put my hands in it, I'm not getting it. So you could be looking at the learning new things, or the way that you learn things. But this is really deep reflective on the things that, again, that fill your cup, that help you to feel like alive. Look at this. I mean, there is no more alive card other than the Sun card in this deck than this. And again, we all want to be that person. We just want to be jumping out of abundance into emotional fulfillment. That's another form of abundance. Believe in the unbelievable. We have the rainbow. We have pigs flying, right? He's like, his head is going up into the clouds. Like, what are your dreams? What are your wishes? His heart is illuminated, and he's got his arm, and it's reaching out to an unknown hand, and they're joining. That's intuitive. That's leaning into the other side, joining hands and hearts together. This is really big, Aquarius. I'm really liking this. For some of our Aquarian friends, this could be a whole new area for you, especially trusting that, there's another hand holding yours, spiritual guidance, that you don't know about or that you can't feel. And it's just there, guiding your heart into full trust and faith, right? Moving into, mental stimulation of the things that really excite your mind. And with, moving forward, if you don't even know what that is, intuition is guiding you. You have full faith and trust that the path you're on is abundant and fulfilling, mentally and emotionally stimulating and fulfilling for you. But again, you have, underneath of that, you have the Hanged Man and you have the Seven of Wands. Both cards look like they are reflecting. She's reflecting in our heart, and then from her heart, she gets the guidance from her soul. Aquarius, that is your reading for the week of August 16th. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. But again, thank you everyone for subscribing, for liking, for commenting, for sharing this video. It helps me a lot. And until next time, enjoy this week of reflection. And I send you light and love. Have a great week, everyone.